Hey, this is Dean Malenko, back to Suncoast Pro Wrestling. Along with me, on my side as usual, Hammer and Henry Reigns. I'll tell you, Henry, if we got 30 minutes of action-packed action today, and if we have anything what we had last week, we'll see a lot of exciting match.
Well, we had a great debut show last week, but I think this week we're going to try and surpass it. I know we've got a great tag team coming up and a good singles wrestler, the Masked Superstar.
Yes, we sure do. Masked Superstar in action, also in a tag team. Nasty Ned and Crash Chandler against Chris the Dr. Proctor and Paul Drake. I'll tell you right now at this time, I'd like to get in our sponsors for this week's show.
There's the Time Machine, Gold's Gym, Video Discs and Tapes, and Anchor Air.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with tonight's first match. Back here at Suncoast Professional Wrestling, it looks like we got our first match upcoming. Our ring right now looks like we have Sexy Caesar and upcoming and entering the ring area right now is the Masked Superstar. Here's Henry Reigns with the introduction of our wrestlers.
In the far corner from Chicago at 210 pounds, Sexy Caesar Vera. And weight unknown, place unknown, the Masked Superstar.
Dean Malenko! Is this thing on? Dean Malenko! Why don't you just sit there? I know you're going to sit there because that's your new position in wrestling. You just sit there and watch what I would have done to you if you had the guts to get in here, punk!
This guy seems to have something about you he doesn't like.
Yeah, well, it sure does. That's not my problem. That's something he's going to have to work out himself. I'll tell you, whatever he says, sometimes you can't knock success and talent, and the Masked Superstar is loaded with talent.
That's a great happening.
I tell you, there's Sexy Caesar with a roll-up. Sometimes you get a little too smart for your britches, but I'll tell you one thing, this Masked Superstar is rough, tough, and he's ready.
I don't think the Superstar liked being embarrassed like that.
No, I don't think so one bit.
In fact, he didn't even seem too much interested in pinning that guy.
No. I'm going to tell you something about this Masked Superstar. He comes up here at the desk and is running his mouth, saying these different things about why I retired and stuff. Henry, I did what I thought I should have done, and I still believe that it's the right thing to do.
Well, no one can argue with your achievements, and to insinuate that you were chicken with the kind of challenges you faced in your career, I think this is just some self-serving stunt that he's trying to pull.
I'll tell you one thing, though. He's not giving up on this Sexy Caesar.
Well, other than that brief near pin from Sexy Caesar, he hasn't had much offense in this match.
I'll tell you, I'm a little disgusted just sitting here and, just watching this whole thing. This guy, I'll tell you, this Sexy Caesar looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Caesar's already submitted.
And, I'll tell you something, Henry. Sitting here, excuse me one second.
My partner just left, is entering the ring, checking on Sexy Caesar. Well, there's really no call to inflict that kind of punishment on. Uh-oh. Blindsided Dean. He's got him in the turnbuckle. Laying the fist into him. Come on, Dean. All right. Dean's demonstrating he doesn't like being back jumped. Then, back drawn. Oh, no. Knocked the Superstar right over the top rope. The Superstar doesn't seem to want so much of him right now. Maybe that lady in the audience is a better match for him.
Masked Superstar, I want you to listen to me. Excuse me one second, sir. You come up and take my time while I'm commentating and make comments referring about my retirement, saying that I retired because I didn't want to face you. I have nothing to prove to myself, to my family, or to the fans here. But I want to tell you something. April 14th at 8 o'clock, right here, in front of all these people, I'll come back You know, you talk about chicken and being a coward. Let me tell you something. This is what we're going to work out. I'll wrestle under one stipulation. You win the match, I retire for good. I never wrestle in the state of Florida. Wait. But if I win the match, that mask comes off that head, and we're going to see what kind of mug goes with this big mouth. I don't want an answer right now, but if you think you're man enough, I don't need an answer now, but if you think you're man enough, April 14th, just meet me right here. Just come right here, and I'll have my answer.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Suncoast Pro Wrestling. I hope you've been watching this show today because the excitement that we just saw was incredible. Quite an altercation between the Masked Superstar and Dean Malenko. We've got a tag team coming up. Got some crowd favorites here. I believe that's Paul Drake with the American flag, Chris and Dr. Proctor, and the, I don't know how you can describe that jacket, sort of a tuxedo style. And I assume this is their valet, or flag bearer maybe. I'm hoping that Dean will be able to join us soon. He's trying to collect himself after everything that just happened. Here comes the other opposing tag team. Nasty Ned with the baseball bat. Hopefully that's just for show. And Crash Chandler. A little cooperation between the two of them there. We've got our announcing coming up in the far corner at 230 pounds from Ruskin, Florida, Chris the Dr. Proctor. Teamed at 238 pounds from Evergreen Park, Illinois, and also from Sarasota, Paul Drake. And their opponents from Clearwater Beach, 250 pounds, Crash Chandler. And from Buffalo, New York at 231 pounds, Nasty Ned. Referee checks the boots. Okay, trying to get set up. Dean, I'm glad you were able to make it back. That was some kind of excitement just caused for us.
I'd like to make a statement real quick before we get things started here. I'd like to apologize to the people here and the fans at home. I'm usually not like that, but I'll tell you, my fuse it got to the ending point. It got to a boiling point. I'll tell you, he can sit here and he can mouth all he wants, but when it gets down to it, if he wants this match bad enough, and like I say before, Henry, I don't got nothing to prove here to the fans or to myself, but if it takes, proving to the Masked Superstar that I did not retire because of him. Anyway, I'll take him on April 14th. If he wants to be here, hey, I'll be more than happy to oblige him. Believe me.
That's right. We return to the Manatee Civic Center April 14th. That's on Friday night.
I'll tell you, let's get away from that right now. We got some hot action right now in the ring. It's Paul Drake and Chris Proctor. They'll tell you one thing, they may make one heck of a tag team. You can also see this Paul Drake is really well developed. If I'm not mistaken, Henry, he at one time held some bodybuilding titles. I think here in the Sarasota area.
Well, just looking at him, you can tell if he didn't, he should certainly enter a few contests.
Yeah, you got that right. I'll tell you, talking about Paul Drake and Chris Proctor, let's talk a second about our opponents tonight, which is Crash Chandler, who's outside the ring right now, and probably the nastiest of them all. That's why they call him Nasty, and that's Nasty Ned. And he's in there right now. And I'll tell you, there's nobody that comes any nastier than Nasty Ned. Throw a tag and a kick to the midsection here by Chris Proctor.
with all the excitement at the beginning of the show, I haven't had a chance to thank some of the local business people that are supporting us. I'd like to say hi to Leslie of Video Discs and Tapes at Southwood Mall. They have a tremendous selection of martial arts video, wrestling videos, and thousands and thousands of titles. Go ahead and go down to Southwood Mall to Video Discs and Tapes and tell them you heard about them on Suncoast Pro Wrestling.
Well, a little extra added feature there on the outside of the ring by Chris Proctor. Tell you one thing, I just coming back, I just noticed the young lady outside there chewing Paul Drake and Chris Proctor right there by ringside in that lovely blue dress. I'm not exactly sure who she is, but she's definitely something to look at. And we have a little up by change. Oh, great. Larry, right on the top rope there. Tell you one thing, we got a lot of things happening right now in this ring. Oh, I'll tell you, just sitting here looking at that just kind of makes you want to bend over yourself. But living up true to form, that's Nasty Ned at his nastiest.
Well, there's a brief slogan in here. I'd like to thank Anchor Air Conditioning for supporting us. Anchor Air Conditioning is not only Manatee County's largest air conditioning contractor, but has been Florida West Coast's largest volume ARCO air dealer for the past 2 years. Get your AC checked out before the summer comes. Call Anchor Air at 746-4191.
Go
ahead, Dean.
I'm sorry, Henry. I was just going to make a statement that, you have to see Chandler in the ring. Looks like this Nasty Ned doesn't seem that he acquires tag team wrestling too much. Looks like he wants to do it all. Well, just as a speak at it again, he tags out with Chandler. So I get to see a little bit about what Chandler is all about. Frankly, I've really seen this gentleman wrestle so often. I do, Henry. It's Chandler, which we're looking at here.
He's a big man. I haven't seen too much of him either.
That he is a nice snap mare.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Dean, my mind is still on the stuff that happened at the opening of the show. That masked superstar, he comes out in our first show, our debut show, interrupts things to insult you, and then comes back in our next show, stages the kind of stunts he did, and then he got taught a lesson by you. But I don't know what to do.
Not to interrupt you, I'll tell you, lesson really hasn't been taught yet, and it will. Like I said, if he comes here April 14th, I'm at the Civic Center. Hey, I'll be more than happy to teach him a lesson. Again, I like to apologize to everybody that really isn't my forte, so to speak, and I'm usually a pretty calm, collective guy. But everybody's got a boiling point, and sometimes you take things to the limit, and you do things just without thinking sometimes. But getting back to the ring, there's a lot of action, and it looks like it's
action outside the ring.
Yeah. I guess I'm the one who's looking inside the ring, and you're looking at the lovely valet, so to speak, of one Paul Drake and Chris Proctor. There, it looks like a little tag team work there by the team of Nasty Ned and Chris.
His nose looks like it's a little more to the right after that. I don't know.
I'll tell you, I think you just got to knock back the other one. I mean, this Crash Chandler's got some. Oh, this Nasty Ned, he's incredible. Looks like Frank Reyes is being a little held up there on the other side. Beautiful lariat there. Looks like we're going for a pinfall. 1, 2, and we get a 2 count.
Paul Drake has been taking a lot of punishment for a while now. He needs to get back to that corner.
So he's got him in a headlock. Looks like Paul Drake's going over there to make the tag.
He needs to get up and make that tag.
All right, there's the tag. Here comes Chris Proctor in the ring right now. Oh, and it's a hit. Really going after Nasty Ned right now. Close it in. Oh, beautiful Larry. Looks like Nasty Ned's in a lot of trouble, I'll tell you that. Say you one thing. They got Nasty Ned rocking and rolling back and forth. It
looked like one of those ducks in a shooting gallery.
Yeah, he sure did. Then with his foot on the rope, stops the count. Say one thing. A lot of X. I must have hurt the neck there. Tell you, Nasty Ned looks like he's in a lot of trouble. Crash Chandler. There's another tag. Brings Paul Drake in the ring right now.
I wonder if Paul shouldn't have gotten a little more rest before, I spoke a little soon there.
As we look him in the ring now, it looks like Nasty Ned's holding on here. Springs in Chris Proctor. Here comes Chris Proctor. Looks like he wasn't going to take too much more of that. And there's Nasty Ned on the outside. Whoa. Rams that. Now we got all 4 guys in the ring at one time.
3 men in the ring.
And hurls Paul Drake right outside the ropes there. But Big Larry by Chris Proctor. Say, we got some action going on here, Henry. Some inside the ring and some out. It's like these guys are really going at it.
We can see both.
It's like Nasty Ned on the outside attempting a slam. He gets Paul Drake up. Oh. And he hits the concrete. And yeah, it's scarf, isn't it? You're right. There's no cushion out there. There's a lot of action happening right here in the ring. Looks like Nasty Ned's going to ram Paul Drake. Whoa, at the last minute he changes. Nasty Ned is put it right in there. Looks like Chris Proctor going for that sunset flip. Going for that sunset flip. Paul Drake with another 1. And we got a 3 count. We got a 3 count. You got a 3 count. And the victors in this match, Paul Drake, Chris Proctor with the win. That was a beautiful sunset flip. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before, Henry B.
Well, I've seen sunset flips, but never set up that way with the kind of teamwork. I think this is a tag team to watch.
Yeah, it sure does. I think my voice is going a little bit. I'll tell you, let's take a break here for a little bit and to get my voice back and let's get orders stored. And I'll tell you, that was some match. We'll be right back. This is Dean Malenko back with Suncoast Championship Wrestling. I'll tell you guys, that was some kind of match. Looked like Dr. Proctor and Paul Drake took the upper hand there and looked like they came out a victor. Looks like you guys had some kind of little problem there at the end. You guys were a little confused. One was in the inside and one was on the outside. Nasty Ned, what do you think the problem was there? I mean, give us.
You're right about one thing. There was a problem. The problem is that I ain't got the right tag team partner. And it seems lately, wherever I go, I try to get me a tag team partner. I sure time, though. But I can't find anybody that can cut the grade, including this guy right here. And I'll tell you what you're going to see. You're going to start seeing me in some singles matches. And you're going to start seeing me with some gold around my waist. I ain't got time for you.
I'll tell you one thing. Nasty Ned looks like he's a little bit angry. And Crash, I can't exactly say I'm, altogether agree with him or whatever. What are your feelings about the match?
All I want to say was I was in the ring carrying my weight. When I turned around and looked for Ned, he was gone.
I'll tell you, this looks like something that's not going to be worked out right now. Maybe never get worked out. Looks like Ned's got one direction, and that direction of mine is in a single way. And from the display he's making, looks like he wants part of that Southern Heavyweight Championship belt. So I guess Gator Gilmore, if you're watching, this might be the guy that might be looking at you. Let's take a break right now. We'll be right back with Suncoast Wrestling. Well, it's Dean Malenko again with Hammer and Henry Reigns. And Henry, I'll tell you, I saw a lot of excitement in this half hour.
Well, I didn't know if we could be more exciting than our first show, but I think we might have topped it with this one. I still cannot get over what happened with the Masked Superstar and you. I know you had no plans of winding up inside the ring today, but I guess you're going to be back inside April 14th.
Well, it looks that way. I issued a challenge, and he came up here and he opened his mouth, so to speak, and he said what he had to say, and he gave his opinion. And hey, it's a free world, and he's got thoughts upon my retirement that I can't stop him from talking. But
well, I'm looking forward to see him unmasked on April 14th.
Well, I think I'm looking more forward than you are, and I think the fans out there are a little excited about the match too. But let's get away from that a little bit. Let's talk about the little feud we got going right now with this Full Force and Jumbo Beretta, if you remember.
Right, in our debut show.
Right, in our debut show. It looks like they had a lot of heat going in, and looks now, we just got a report that they're going to be wrestling in another match. It looks like a special grudge match with no disqualification. That's Jumbo Beretta and Full Force. I'll tell you, looking at those two guys, looks like one's got to be a winner and one's got to be a loser.
Well, no DQ. It's got to be one of the most dangerous matches that they can have. No rules, or if there's rules, but it doesn't matter if you break them.
Nope.
And could get pretty nasty.
Yeah, and
so we'll be seeing them April 14th at the Manatee Civic Center. That's a Friday night. They'll have a chance to try and settle this score here on this feud of theirs. And we're going to see you again, only this time in trunks.
in trunks. Yeah, and I'm putting some on the line, and like I say, he's putting some on the line. I'm putting him in retirement, and if I lose, I lose. I mean, that's the way it goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if I do lose, I'll keep my promise to.
Well, we've got a little time left. Let's go ahead and thank Gold's Gym. Don Smith down there at Gold's Gym. He's been real supportive of us. Great place to work out. Also, the Time Machine, Southwest Florida's oldest comic shop, and a now full-line newsstand. Video disc and tapes, and Anchor Air. Told you about those a little bit earlier in the show.
I'll tell you while we got a minute or two before we sign off. Let's talk about next week's action, and we're looking at the champ Gator Gilmore in action, putting up a Southern heavyweight title belt.
You can tell I think the crowd is behind
yeah,
him here.
against the liking of Beef Wellington, and I don't know about you, but that name Beef just kind of ponders in my mind a little bit.
Sounds sort of thick.
I'll tell you, let's kind of leave it at that. And I don't know about yourself, but I'm looking forward to that match between Gator Gilmore and Beef Wellington. So let's think about next week and that big match. And I guess this is Hammer and Henry Reigns and Dean Malenko with Suncoast Professional Wrestling. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.
La seriedad no existe. Solo existe el amor. A subtle ring, familiar smile, a certain scent controls the air. Another day, another night, another place, another time. Security, 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 security.